Alrighty, hi everyone. I'm just gonna kind of show you folks how I made, or not really how I made, but I'm gonna walk you through the steps that I did to make my TF2 default sniper rifle. So I'm just gonna give you a quick one over of the rifle itself. And don't mind the orange tip. This is just here because at the convention you need to go through a weapons check and they just tag it. So don't mind that. But this is the sniper rifle. And I'll go ahead and turn it over. So there you go. So that is the TF2 Sniper Rifle. And I did not record the process of me actually making the rifle, only because it took like a month on and off of just working. But what I will do is kind of show you folks the materials that I used to make it, and I'm going to tell you this is not a project that you start a week before you need it finished. This is a project that you need to kind of plan out. I gave myself a month, so you folks should give yourself a month as well. And again, this is my first time making any sort of prop, so I apologize if I don't know all like the technicality or like the technical terms you folks use for a rifle. So I'm just going to point and say this part, okay? So I will start off by saying that this right here was a pain in the butt to make. I went through so much trial and error. I wish there were a video out earlier where someone would have showed me how to make it, but that's why I'm hoping you folks can learn something from this video. So I'm also going to list like in the description parts of this video. That way if you just want to learn how to make one part, you can click on it and it'll take you to that part where I talk about how to make, for example, the scope. So as a matter of fact, I'm just going to start with the scope itself. This part right here is just a PVC pipe. It was a really thick black PVC pipe, and I just spray painted it with a green color, and actually what I used was this one, Rust-Oleum camouflage in non-reflective. I didn't want a shiny paint, so I got a matte, very matte paint, matte color. Now to make these two parts over here was actually really tricky, and you're probably going to be surprised with what I used, but you need to be very creative when making this rifle. This right here is tape. I used masking tape and I just kept going around in circles till it was thick enough, and I also had to wedge craft foam in between here because the tape would, you know, it wasn't solid. So that's what I used for the front of the scope. For the back of the scope, I actually used one of these lids for the spray paint. All I did was cut a hole over here and then slide it on, and that actually came out perfect. But in between the cap and the PVC pipe, I have also duct tape and craft foam. So that's the scope in a nutshell. And as a matter of fact, I also have the lid for the scope, but I broke it off just before this video because I accidentally I smashed it, so it came off. But the scope is here as well, and not the scope, sorry, the cover. And this right here is just cardboard and more cardboard and hot glue. Like, this whole rifle is pretty much hot glue and cardboard. So nothing fancy really. But yeah, anyway, this is just the lid goes on here. I just hot glued it to here. Now this film right here was just a piece of plastic that I used, like this. I just found this laying around my house, and what I did was I cut a circle, and I just, again, hot glued it to here. And that made for a really nice lens, I guess that's what you're gonna call it. Now this, the laser, is actually a paint bottle, one of those like acrylic paint bottles you can find at any craft store. I just used that and I cut it, so that's what you have. I actually cut the cap off, so that's a cap. This right here is actually the lid for my spray glue. Like, I just took the lid because it was the perfect size, and again I just spray painted it gray. This part right here with the circles, this is cardboard and spray paint. So what I did though with all these parts that are all cardboard, like this is cardboard, These are just 2 pins that I stuck in there. You see those round, I don't know if they're called rivets, but those are just 2 like thumbtacks that I just pushed in, and they're actually on both sides. But again, this is just cardboard, plastic caps, PVC pipes, duct tape, some craft foam. This is just like, you can use anything. I had some, what do you call it? I had some cording laying around because my mom does arts and crafts, so I just used this. And I'll flip it over to this side, and you can see here, oops, this part right here on the scope is cardboard. This part right here is also cardboard, okay? And these U-shaped areas, whatever, that hold up the scope, like this right here and this right here, this is just water bottle. It's a water bottle that I cut, and I put craft foam over it. So, because that was actually, believe it or not, the hardest part to figure out about this rifle, was how I was going to make these 2, I don't know, clamps that would hold up the scope. So I'm going to show you, like, you see this water bottle? What I did was I took like this part, this half of the water bottle, and I just layered craft foam over it. I don't have any, oh here. So like I just took some craft foam and I hot glued it like that.